Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 961st Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. And just to say, this map was selected by a Brotherhood member, Mars. He suggested that we played on this map. If you notice, this map is extremely undulating. I know we've talked about undulating ground maps before, but remember, when we play on undulating ground maps, tactical ground movement is very important, because you kind of don't want to be in a dip, do you, when the enemy team are on a higher part of the undulating ground. So on these undulating ground maps, tactical ground movement is very, very important, as you will see during the course of this battle. And what a cracker I've got for you today. Okay, our first teammate is Brotherhood member Sultan Adnan. Now, Sultan has just got 8 infantry, 6 archers and 6 cavalry. Okay, just 8 infantry, 6 archers and 6 cavalry. If you have a look at the upgrades on his infantry, you'll see they're just gold shield, gold attack. Okay, which tells me, I would say, he spent his money on his cavalry there. And oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry. Okay, now that takes them out of the elite bracket into the super cavalry bracket. And just to let you know that each one of those units cost 2,700 denarii. So for 6 cavalry units, that costs 16,200 denarii. Okay, 16,200 denarii for those 6 cavalry units altogether. Okay, now for that, get ready for this, those of you that like statistics, you get a massive 17 attack, a massive 28 defense, and of course the Praetorian cavalry have got just a 6 charge bonus, but fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry, as I say, a massive 17 attack and a huge 28 defense. So like I say, that cavalry now is kind of lifted out of the elite bracket into the super cavalry bracket, and that may well be very relevant later on in the battle. Okay, right, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Arminius. Now remember, Arminius has bought the Parthian faction. Because Parthian infantry is so poor, we've given Parthia a 10 cavalry max, the same as Scythia, because their infantry is so poor. Okay, so Arminius has got 10 cavalry, 6 archers and 4 peasants. Oh my gosh, look at the upgrades on his cavalry. Fully upgraded cataphracts there. Okay, fully upgraded cataphracts. Remember, we call these guys the tanks of the ancient world because they're armored from head to toe. And once again, those of you that like statistics, fully upgraded cataphracts, that gives them a 13 attack, a massive 29 defense, and of course they've got a 9 charge bonus. So yeah, a 13 attack, a massive 29 defense and a 9 charge bonus. Remember, the charge bonus is the impact and penetration that a unit can do, and these guys have got a 9 charge bonus, which is very high. So that's an interesting Parthian army there. Now, unfortunately, not only are their infantry poor, their archers are poor as well. These are mid-range. You can see they don't wear any armor, so their defense is poor. And as I say, they are just mid-range archers there. So, I mean, really, apart from the cavalry, and there you are, he's bought the peasants, hopefully to soak up some enemy missiles like arrows or pilers and things like that. But to be honest with you, the only strength of Parthia really is their cavalry, and that's why they give them a 10 cavalry max. So there you are, the Praetorian cavalry of Sultan and the cataphracts of Arminius, fully upgraded cavalry there, okay? Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Fesen with his faction of choice, Carthage. Now he's got 14 Sacred Band spearmen and 6 slingers. Okay, look at the upgrades on his Sacred Band spearmen. 8 upgrades, 2 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Remember, Sacred Band spearmen are good, really tough infantry, but you put really good upgrades on them, and that kind of makes them almost like super infantry, really. Plus, as I say, he's got his 6 slingers behind him. No cavalry, though. Notice Fesen doesn't bring any cavalry within his Carthage army. And as I say, Carthage is now his faction of choice, and he's got very good with them. And our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander. I've got 13 Spartans and I've got 4 archers. Just to show you, the archers that I've bought are the kind of cheap mid-range archers, but at least I got 4 of them. And if I use them correctly, they can be quite effective on the battlefield there. So what a diverse team that we've got. We've got Rome there with Sultan. We've got Parthia with Arminius, Carthage with Fesen, and myself with Greek cities. And here is the other team. We have someone who's called himself a Dreamy Bull, but is in fact Brotherhood member Mars. Now Mars has got 10 infantry, 4 archers and 6 cavalry. Okay, 10 infantry, 4 archers and 6 cavalry. Quick look at the upgrades on his infantry there. Do you like the battle formation he's got? No pilot shield units in front of his army there. Now bearing in mind he's facing another Roman army, do you think he should have a pilot unit in front of his battle formation? Please leave your thoughts in the comments. But if you look at his cavalry, can you see he's got 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry. So he's got some very serious cavalry there. But as I say, only 10 infantry. Is that enough for the modern day battlefield? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Their next teammate is Brotherhood member Royer. Now Royer's got 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. Just want to show you something in his army build here. Can you see that he's got an eagle unit there? Okay, a morale boosting eagle unit that he will keep with his infantry, giving morale bonus to his infantry, and this enables him to then to use his cavalry general to run around the battlefield with his cavalry, giving cavalry a bonus, general bonus there to his cavalry. If you notice his cavalry is just gold shield, gold attack there. So it'll be interesting to see how he uses this. And there he's got the armoured cavalry general there, very old school. Up to about, I don't know, 15, 16 years ago, we all used to bring the armoured cavalry general as our Roman general before most of us switched to an infantry general. Their next teammate is Brotherhood member Tabor. Now Tabor's got 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, 14 infantry and 6 cavalry, but also he has bought a morale boosting eagle unit there. Okay, so he's got an extra morale boosting unit there. As I say, morale very, very important on Rome Total War. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, just gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry there. So that's an interesting army build there. Always nice to see a morale boosting unit put in the army build. And their last teammate is GoTW Romex, who's bought the Pontus faction. Now he's got 11 pikes, 3 archers and 6 chariots. Okay, if you notice the first row of his battle formation, just gold shield, gold attack. They're going to take the pilots, take casualties there. And then the rest of his units behind that first line have got 8 upgrades on, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. So he's certainly got mixed upgrades through his battle formation, but the lesser upgraded units are at the front of his battle formation there, as I say, because they'll be expected to take most of the casualties to start off with. And then we move on to the infamous Pontus chariots there. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I thought we'd have a cavalry count because this could be very relevant. Okay, so there you can see that Mars has got 6 cavalry there. Okay, you'll see that Royer's also got 6 cavalry, so that's 12 so far for the enemy team. You'll see here that Tabor has got another 6, so that's 18 cavalry for the other team. And then, of course, they've got 6 chariots. So actually, they've got a combination of 24 cavalry and chariots. Okay, please remember that. So they've got a combination of 24 cavalry and chariots. Now let's see what we've got on our side. So they've got 24 cavalry and chariots. Of course, my Greek cities, I've got no cavalry. Okay. You'll see that Fesen's got no cavalry either. Parthia has got 10, okay, as we talked about earlier, and Sultan has got 6. Okay, so we've got 6 cavalry from him and 10 from Parthia. So we've got 16 cavalry against 24 cavalry and chariots. So it'll be interesting to see if that makes a difference during the battle. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle, we've decided we're going to form up on this particular part of the map. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to run my Spartans to that area, and Arminius with his Parthian troops and Sultan with his SBQR troops, we decided we're all going to move onto that particular part of the map. Okay, so that's where we're going to move up there. Now, if you were Sultan here, Okay, which trajectory do you think you'd send your troops on? Now, there's a disposition of the enemy troops. Now, we've decided we're going to move over where our Carthage ally is. So would you move directly over towards our Carthage ally, or possibly would you move back a long way and then over? The only reason I ask you that is because seeing the disposition of the enemy troops, if you were Sultan, how would you move your troops up to where we've decided we're all going to form up? Okay, so would you go directly up there? You can see our Parthian ally moving up there now. Which way is Sultan going to go? Is he going to go straight across, or is he going to move back a long way? I would suggest to move up towards our Carthage ally. Okay, so there you are. You can see him starting to move back a little bit. Okay, so that's good. But you can also see the enemy team closing in on Sultan as well. Okay, so in this regard, what should Sultan do? Keep moving sideways towards his allies, or do you think he should move back, bearing in mind the way that the enemy troops are closing in on him? Should he move back, do you think, and then move across to us, or just keep moving on the trajectory that he set his troops on already? If you notice here, can you see the enemy Scipii troops are really closing in on his moving SPQR infantry there? Okay, so do you think now at this stage, if you were Sultan, you would move your infantry back, or would you keep moving it sideways like that? Please leave your thoughts in the comment on that, please. And there you are. You can see it looks to me like Sultan's infantry is going to be intercepted here. I don't know what you think. I can see a lot of Scipii cavalry and infantry moving in, and bang, as they smash into Sultan's infantry. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second here. So as you can see, Sultan's infantry has now been intercepted by the enemy troops. So what we all said in the team was, okay, quick, move over to the right. We're going to help Sultan. Okay, so now you'll see us all start moving over to the right there to try and get to Sultan. But to me, his infantry has been smashed and crashed so effectively by the enemy troops. I don't think we're going to get there in time. And it looks to me there, look how his troops are being inundated by enemy troops there. Just like, you know, he's being swamped, isn't he, by enemy cavalry and infantry. And oh my gosh, his infantry is in a really bad way here. Just look at the mass of right, okay. Right, so at this very, very early stage of the battle, we literally pressed start only a few minutes ago. You can see Sultan's lost his general and all of his infantry. Okay, so at this stage of the battle, okay, Sultan's lost all his infantry there. And this could be quite a short battle under these circumstances. Okay, he's still got his fully upgraded cavalry, so that's good news for us. But as I say, he's lost his infantry, and the enemy now, if they're quick, they could now come up here on our right flank, because we've got no infantry to stop them at this stage. Okay, so all this enemy infantry and cavalry now, if they push on our right flank, unless Fesen moves his Carthaginians over there, or I can get over there with my Spartans, we've got no infantry on our right flank, and all Arminius and Sultan can do at this stage is move their cavalry back. Obviously, they don't want to get involved with enemy infantry and cavalry, but remember that both Arminius' cavalry and Sultan's cavalry are fully upgraded. Okay, fully upgraded cavalry are Arminius and Sultan's cavalry. Okay, but here you can see enemy infantry and cavalry pushing hard on our right flank. Okay, so as I say, if they keep pushing hard like that, all Arminius and Sultan can do really is just keep pulling back, because they certainly don't want to get involved in fighting all that enemy infantry that's moving towards them there. Okay, so you'll notice there that both Arminius and Sultan are moving their cavalry back away from the enemy onslaught coming in on our right flank there. Okay, now we've got on this undulating ground map, if you notice here, we've moved up onto a slightly higher ground of the undulating map. undulating ground map here, so we've made the most of the terrain. This is a tactical ground movement for us here on this undulating ground map, which we've talked about in other battles, haven't we? Tactical ground movement. Now here you'll see the Pontus pikes moving towards my Spartans, and you can see those chariots at the back there. Romex is deciding what he's going to do with them there. Okay, but just to give you a heads up here with my cheap mid-range archers, okay, just to give you a heads up, I'm going to try and target the Pontus general. Okay, see the Pontus general there? That is who I'm going to try and target. If you look closely there, you can see the Pontus general there. Now remember, Pontus morale is not very good, so take the general out and you will really take a lot of morale, even more morale away from those Pontus pikes. Okay, but as I say, on our right flank here, you can see the enemy really pushing in with infantry and cavalry. And as I say, at the moment, all Arminius and Sultan can do is back their cavalry off at this stage. You see that chariot unit going in to the fully upgraded cataphracts of Arminius' Parthian cavalry there, and bang, as it smashes in there. But you'll see Arminius has attacked with his cavalry there, straight into that chariot unit there. Now whether the enemy are going to charge in as well, there's another chariot unit gone in there. You can see a lot of, as I say, enemy infantry and cavalry moving forward there. That was a nice counter attack there by Arminius there with his cavalry onto that attacking chariot unit. So well done to him. And you can see that Fesen has brought his Carthaginians over to this right flank here to try and give a bit of stability to our right flank. You know, try and shore up our right flank a little bit there. While our allies' fully upgraded cavalry is being pulled back at this stage. Okay. Right, let's just pause the game for a second here. So here you can see that the Pontus pikes have kind of bypassed my Spartans there, and they're moving towards the centre ground there. But remember, my cheap short-range archers are really targeting the Pontus general there. As I say, we know Pontus morale is not very good. Take the general out, you're going to lower the morale even more. So it's a kind of a tactical move there, trying to take the general out with my archers. Okay, as I say, you can see Fesen moving his Carthaginians over a little bit more to the right there. As I say, trying to give a little bit more stability to our right flank with the enemy moving forward as they are. Okay, very aggressive move there by the enemy. You can see the green Brutii infantry moving forward there, looking to throw loads of pilers into our Carthage ally. You can see the Pontus pikes moving forward there. Okay. And just to say, at the back of the enemy troops, can you see that Mars is moving his red Julii troops very slowly forward here. He's not rushing, and all his troops are going to be fresh by the time he gets to the main battle there. As I say, having fresh troops is a big advantage. Right, here you'll see that the Pontus pikes are starting to attack my Spartan units there. Pause the game for a second. Now here's something I wanted to show you. If you can try and memorize the length of those Pontus pikes, can you see how long, how massive those Pontus pikes are? Okay, try and keep a mental image of that, and then look at how short my Spartan spears are in comparison to those massive long pikes of Pontus there. Okay, but as I say, here you can see the Pontus pikes attacking my Spartans there. Okay, so I'm going to counter-attack them. I'm not just going to stand there and take them. Now, yes, a 121-man unit there has been reduced down to, what, 86 by my archers, as I say, shooting into that Pontus general pike unit there. Okay, here you can see Fesen has set up his usual formation there, battle formation. And just say, on our right flank, you've got Arminius there, looking to try and guard our right flank as much as he can. But with all that infantry and cavalry moving around there, that could be a bit of a tall order there. But as I say, here you can see my Spartans now. If you notice, I'm advancing some of my Spartan units into the Pontus pikes. Okay, I'm not just going to stand there and let them attack me. I'm going to counter-attack with my Spartans there, even though I've got short spears in comparison to the long pikes of Pontus there. Okay, pause the game for a second here. So as I say, over on the right flank here, you can see that the enemy Julii cavalry plus a chariot unit had charged in to Arminius is Parthian cavalry there. So there's a bit of a scrap going on there at the moment. You can see a lot of enemy troops moving towards Arminius' Parthian troops, Parthian cavalry there as well. So as I say, our right flank here is kind of, you know, possibly in danger of being broken here, with all those enemy troops heading towards our Parthian ally, right? So over here, what I want to show you here is that I am going to aggressively attack the Pontus pikes with a tactical reason in mind. What I'm hoping here is Sultan's going to get his cavalry in behind the Pontus pikes, okay? And then in a hammer and anvil attack, my Spartans being the anvil, and of course Sultan's cavalry being the hammer, I'm hoping to hammer and anvil these Parthian pikes here. Okay, so it just gives you a heads up on that. Okay, but over here, as I say, on our right flank, Arminius is doing really well with his fully upgraded cavalry there. And here's his nice move by Fesen. He's put his slingers in front of his main battle line there to try and soak up some of the enemy pilers, so that his actual sacred band spearmen, his elite troops, don't suffer you know, that many casualties from pilers, but he's willing to sacrifice his slingers there, which is a good tactical move there, I think. But here, as I say, Arminius is trying to hold our right flank. Look at all those enemy troops pouring in on him. But those Parthian cataphracts fully upgraded, I think they're holding really well. Make no mistake there, he will be alt-attacking, using the effective against armor maces against all those enemy troops. But just look, both infantry and cavalry are forcing Arminius to withdraw there. Okay, that's a good tactical withdrawal there from Arminius. And as I say, over here, the hammer and anvil attack on Pontus is underway. Okay, get ready, watch for that cavalry, hopefully going to smash into the back of those Pontus pikes. There you go, there's that cavalry going in, get ready for this, and bang, as it smashes in there. Also, I want to show you something tactical here that I've done here to help my allies' cavalry. Okay, just pause the game for a second here. Can you see that I have actually upped my spears? So all my Spartans, I've put the spears up that were fighting the Pontus pikes. Okay, because remember, friendly cavalry will die on friendly spears or pikes if the spears are down. So you can see I've put all my spears up there so that Sultan won't lose any of his cavalry on my spearmen. Okay, just to show you that. But look at that, we've routed basically all those Pontus pikes there in that hammer and anvil attack. So we've done well on the left flank. Well done to Sultan there, worked really well, good bit of teamwork there. But as I say, over here, look, you can see Mars's army, his Red Julia army, moving very slowly towards us there. As I say, over on our right flank now, just look at all that enemy cavalry and infantry has forced Arminius to move his cavalry back out of the way there. That's good news. The Pontus general's dead, so that's good. That's taking morale bonus away from the enemy team there. And so now, if you notice here, I'm going to start moving my Spartans possibly towards Mars's Red Julii infantry there. Okay, and here you can see Sultan moving his cavalry around the battlefield very skillfully. Over here you'll see a couple of the Pontus chariots have run amok. There you go, you can see the two Pontus chariots there running amok, and they will be busily killing their allies' archers now, chopping down the their allies' archers there with the amok chariots. Remember, when a chariot runs amok, it kills both friend and foe alike, and strangely seems to be more powerful in amok mode than normal mode. But here you can see that Sultan has now moved his cavalry in behind us there, with teaming up with our Parthian ally there. This is a good defensive line that Fesen has got with his Carthaginians there, holding up the green Brutii infantry. Also, I'd like to show you how well he's done on our right flank. He's put spear units up there to try and neutralise any troops coming in from the right as much as he can. As you can see there, very good. But you can see the enemy Scipii infantry are going to get in behind us here, and there's potential for cavalry to get in behind us as well. But here, as I say, the slingers there will be shooting slingshots into the enemy troops as much as they can. And as I say, here you can see those chariots. Now these chariots here, I think he's going to charge in to our Parthian and SBQ allies cavalry there. Right, so here you can see Romex's chariots coming in there. Okay, make no mistake, he's going to charge in to our allies' cavalry. He's chopping up my archers first of all, though. All my cheap archers are going to be killed. But there you are, you can see the chariots coming in. Now, what I think Romex was hoping here is that as his chariots hit our cavalry, that his allies were going to charge in with their cavalry and possibly infantry there. Like in a sandwich attack. So the chariots are going to come in from one side and his allies, infantry and cavalry, are going to come in from the other. Do you see what I mean? I wonder if that's what Romex was thinking there. Because at the moment, it's just his chariots are going to strike our cavalry and bang, as they smash in there. But look, his allies are not moving. So the chariots there are trying to chop up the cavalry as best they can. Okay, waiting for reinforcements to come in from his allies, and they never came. And now all those chariots have now been routed. So, as I say, that's what I think he was thinking, that his allies were going to come in from the other side with cavalry and infantry. Okay, so there you can see the Parthian cavalry did a good job on the chariots there, along with Sultan's cavalry. Both did well there. Pause again for a second here. So here you'll see I brought my Spartans in from the left flank. I'm now going to attack the enemy Scipii infantry here, just to try and shore up our right flank a bit. Here you'll see that Fesen is holding really well against enemy troops, but unfortunately enemy troops have got in behind him. Can you see there was a break in his spear line there, and the enemy troops have got in behind him, so he's being attacked from the rear and the front there. And remember that Red Julia army of Mars are all fresh troops, fresh, fully intact troops there, ready to push in possibly on the Carthaginians and break the tired, battle-damaged Carthaginians of Fesen there. But as I say, we've got our cavalry there, fully upgraded cavalry in behind. There's a general view of the battle as it stands at the moment. I've got a feeling the cataphracts are tired or at least winded there, and I'm guessing Sultan's troops are the same. But here you can see all those enemy troops there. But Arminius and Sultan got their fully upgraded cavalry locked and loaded there, hoping to charge into the enemy troops. As I say, you can see my Spartans moving into the enemy troops there. But as I say, those Red Julia infantry of Mars's, if he just runs them forward, maybe in an old school surge attack there, he might overrun the battle-damaged Carthaginians there. And that Red Julia cavalry there could cause Fesen a lot of trouble as well. Okay, if he charges in behind those Carthaginians there, I've got a feeling the Carthage units will break. Right, I suppose again for a second. So here you can see a lot of enemy troops getting in behind my Spartans and things like that. So I've got to be very battlefield aware here. And what I mean by that is I need to turn units to face the threats coming in behind me. I'll keep the bulk of my force moving forward into those enemy Scipii troops, but I will turn units to face the threat of units coming in, enemy units coming in behind me. But here, if that Red Julia cavalry smashes into Carthage, I got a feeling Carthage is going to break there, especially if Mars surge attacks with his infantry at the same time. Okay, but over here you'll see Arminius there charging his cataphracts forward there into that Brutii troops, and bang, as he smashes in there. Oh my gosh, so that's the Brutii cavalry and remnants of the Scipii cavalry are charging in there. Are the enemy going to bring any more reinforcements across there? That's a nice hit there by Sultan's SBQ or cavalry, smashing into those units that got in behind me there. Nice bit of battlefield awareness there, and good teamwork there by Sultan with his cavalry. So well done to him there. And as I say, you'll notice here, as I said earlier, I've got to be very good with my micromanagement here and make sure that I'm turning units to face a threat coming in from all directions on my my Spartans there. Okay, so make no mistake there, I've turned units to face the threats there of enemy units coming in from different directions. Okay, but that was a nice hit there by Sultan there with his cavalry on those enemy troops that got in behind me. Meanwhile, over here, Arminius is doing really well against the enemy troops there. I should imagine his cavalry must be tired by now. But over here, you can see that after a really good fight, Fesen's infantry is starting to crack. Okay, that Julia cavalry, as I said, plus that fresh infantry surging forward has done a combination attack on Fesen's spearmen there. Now, bearing in mind, Fesen's infantry have been fighting for a long time. They're probably tired. They're very battle depleted there, and they were just ripe to be taken out, which is what Mars has just done there with his Julii infantry and cavalry. Look at this for a hit from Sultan, and bang! Straight into the back of those engaged Julii troops, killing the Julii general as well. Look at that. Great, what I call hammer and anvil attack there. Sultan being the hammer, and of course Arminius' cavalry being the anvil there. A nice hammer and anvil attack, or sandwich attack, whichever you want to call it, but really well done to the two of them there. But sadly over here, as I say, after a fierce fight, poor old Fesen's infantry here is being routed. That's the Carthage general's just been taken out. He's still holding well there with the units that he's got left. Okay, we've taken out a lot of enemy troops that were surrounding my Spartans, so I'm going to up spears now and run down. That's with my hopefully with my cavalry allies there towards Fesen, because at this stage of the battle, Fesen's still holding well, but there's enemy troops getting in behind him. I mean, to be honest with you, there's a chance that all of Fesen's, oh my gosh, all of Fesen's infantry could be taken out. You can see my Spartans moving down, but now at this stage of the battle, as I say, after a terrific fight, all of Fesen's sacred band spearmen have now been taken out, and I think most of his most of his slingers have been taken out as well. So at this stage of the battle, I believe that all of Fesen's army has now been taken out. Okay, after a fierce fight there, terrific fight that he put. You can see me moving my Spartans down there and cavalry moving down as well towards the enemy troops. I'm hoping that some of the Carthage units will rally. There's a unit that's actually rallied there. That unit's still, the other unit's still routing there, but hopefully some of the Carthage units will rally and come back into the fight. Okay, that's what I'm hoping there. But here, as I say, you can see me moving my Spartans down towards the enemy Julii troops there. Okay, and there's some enemy Scipio troops there as well. And don't forget, those Pontus archers have been shooting into us as well. And you can see our cavalry there moving down. Okay, but as I say, there's a lot of enemy archers there shooting into us there. All I want to do now is really get into contact with these enemy Roman troops with my Spartans. There, that's why I'm going to be very, very aggressive. Remember, whenever I bring Greek cities, I put my team at a cavalry disadvantage, and the only way to make up for that is to be aggressive and attack with my Spartans. Okay, so if you notice here, can you see that Mars is moving his Julii infantry sideways across the battlefield there? So of course what I'm thinking there is, if I get an opportunity, I'll run forward and smash into the flank of his moving infantry with my Spartans. Okay, just to give you a heads up on that. If he keeps moving sideways, and hopefully if my allies smash in with their cavalry at the same time, we could do a lot of damage there to the enemy team. Okay, I got enemy troops coming in behind me as well. I've noticed there, got some Brutii infantry in behind me. See, some of the Carthage sacred bands are rallying there, which is good news. But just watch my my Spartans there. I'm looking, as I say, to hit that slow moving Julii infantry in the flank as it's moving in front of me. Right, there you are. Can you see I'm now charging forward with my Spartans into the enemy troops there, and bang, as my Spartans hit. Okay, a couple of the infantry are facing me, but a lot of them are still moving sideways across the hill. So I'm looking to like try and pierce through and hit the flank of those moving infantry if I can there with my Spartans. Okay, so there you are. You can see my Spartans moving onto those enemy troops, and you can see that Julii cavalry there have moved off to my flank. Okay, but over here I'd just like you to see that what Sultan's doing with his fully upgraded cavalry is chasing down the enemy archers there, stop them shooting into us. Okay, so that's what he seems to be doing with his, although he could go for that Scipio general maybe, but if you notice here, he's using all his cavalry to chase down the enemy missile troops that have been shooting into us. Okay, as I say, you can see Fesen's got a few of his units have rallied and come back into the battle. But here, as I say, you can see my Spartans charging into the enemy troops there. Okay, and what I'm thinking here is if Arminius, with his fully upgraded cataphracts, times the cavalry charge just right, he may cause them a lot of damage there. He's going to hit with a couple of his units there, like a bang, and he smashes in there. That's a Julii cavalry just smashed into the flank of my Spartans there. Okay, that Julii cavalry just charged straight in there. But meanwhile, as I say, you can see Sultan here just chasing down the enemy missile troops here. My guess is he's going to get a lot of good kills from doing that. And of course, by chasing them down, stopping them from shooting into our flank and rear, he's doing a good job there with his fully upgraded SBQ cavalry. Okay, taking out all the missile troops there. But as I say, that Julii cavalry of Mars just smashed into the flank of my Spartans there. Looks like he's going to pull his cavalry back to lock and load them and charge them back in again. And as I say here, you can see my Spartans making slow inroads into the enemy troops there. And you see Arminius' cavalry is locked and loaded there, ready to charge in. As I say, my Spartans making slow inroads into the enemy troops there. And you can see Arminius moving his cavalry units around here, probably looking for the best angle to come in on those Julii troops. There's some enemy Brutio troops moving towards him. Right, here comes Arminius, his cavalry. Looks like it's going to charge into the enemy troops there. Get ready for this, and bang! And the other unit's going to hit as well, and bang, as they smash in there. But I'm guessing his cavalry are exhausted, so that really that cuts down on his charge bonus and everything. Right, that's my Greek city's general, just been killed there. So that's bad news for us. We've just lost that. Here you can see some of Sultan's cavalry charging in as well, like a bang, as they smash in there. And you can see a lot of the enemy troops are starting to wreck. Can you see how my Spartans now, I've turned my Spartans to fight backwards now towards that Brutii infantry that was coming in behind, because I'm leaving the Julii infantry to my allies' cavalry there. Okay, you can see there some Julii cavalry charging into the back of our ally there, and as I say, you can see Sultan's got a couple of his cavalry over here as well, smashing into that Julii infantry. But as I say, he's got several of his units there chasing down the enemy archers there, stopping them coming back into the battle. So that's good news for us. Well done to him there. Killed a lot of those enemy missile troops. But here, as I say, you can see my Spartans there, and as I say, my enemy, my allies' cavalry there, really smashing into the enemy troops as well. So we've done a lot of damage to the enemy troops. You see my Spartans still advancing, still moving forward into I'd like to take out that Julii general if I can. I think if we kill the Julii general there, take that morale bonus away from them, I think that will possibly, there you are, that's the Julii general dead, I think there. And you can see now, wouldn't surprise me if a lot of those Julii units started to rout. You've got enemy Brutio units coming in there, Sultan hitting that unit like a bang, routed that unit on impact with his cavalry there. But there you are, it looks like our team has gone on to win the battle at this stage, I think. There's still a few enemy troops still moving around the battlefield there, cavalry and some infantry there, but I think for all intents and purposes there, it does look like our team has managed to go on to win the battle there. As I say, you can still see some enemy infantry and cavalry moving around the battlefield here, but for all intents and purposes, as I say, it looks like we've managed to go on to win the battle there. As I say, Arminius' cavalry, I think, were exhausted towards the end of the battle, and I think Sultan's cavalry has been running around the battlefield a lot as well, so a lot of his cavalry will have been exhausted as well there.
The enemy army is in flight. Pursue them. Drive them from the battlefield.
And you saw earlier that my archers were attacked by those chariots and routed, but a lot of my archers, a couple of my archer units have come back into the fray and have been shooting arrows into the enemy team. They were, I think that's one of the last of the Julii units there. I'm guessing going to rout. Yeah, just routed there. Let's pause the game for a second there. So, as I say, it looks like our team has managed to go on to win the battle. But do you remember where the battle started from? All the way over here. This is where Sultan's infantry was taken out in the first couple of minutes of the battle. Okay, and I must say, when we saw all his infantry taken out at the beginning of the battle, I was just wondering if the team thought, well, that's probably it now. We've probably lost the battle there. And over here, as we move here, that more intense fighting there. You can see, you can always tell where the intense fighting is just by the piles of dead. Some more intense fighting here. You can see the dead there. It's quite a spread out battlefield, actually, if you look round. Over here, you can see a lot of dead there. We move over here, more dead on the battlefield. And as I say, it is quite a spread out battle with intense parts of fighting, you know, in separate parts of the battlefield there, which you can always tell just by the massive piles of dead there. I mean, just look at this area here. I mean, that is, you know, you can see how intense the fighting was there just from the piles of dead there. And as I say, on undulating ground map, a tactical ground movement is incredibly important. More important than what you might think, actually. Another intense part of the fight in there, look. You can see just by all the dead there. And at the back here, look, that's where that massive cavalry battle was. You remember where the Parthian cavalry were holding all those Brutii infantry especially, and then Sultan smashed into the rear of them there. That was a good hit. And over here you can see another intense bit of fighting here as well, just by the piles of dead. So as I say, it's as you look across the battlefield, there's kind of little skirmishes all over the place where the battle was spread out. I tried to get everything in that I could, but with such a spread out battlefield, it's kind of a bit difficult to kind of get all the action in there, but I hope I got most of it in. As I say, I think Fesen's got 4 units left at the end of the battle, and I know Sultan's still got I think about 5, maybe 4 or 5 of his cavalry left towards the end of the battle, and he used it incredibly well around the battlefield, hitting just at the right place at the right time with his cavalry. And I think our Parthian ally Arminius, he hasn't got a lot of cavalry left. He's at the moment chasing down enemy units over there, just chasing them down there. He hasn't got a lot left. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this unusual battle here. And the first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game. I thought everybody played well. Now, bearing in mind that poor old Sultan lost all his infantry at the beginning of the battle, for our team to make it an average victory, I thought that's pretty good teamwork there to turn things around. Highest kills in the game unusually goes to myself, my Spartan army there. And if you notice also, my army is the smallest on the battlefield there as well. If you look at all the numbers there, you see I've got the smallest army on the battlefield, but managed to get the highest kills. But remember that those highest kills are only there because of the way my allies played. Remember that whenever you see someone with great kills, remember it's a team effort that has enabled the person with the highest kills to get those kills. So well done to the team there. They have enabled me to get those good kills through the way they fought in the battle. So well done to Mars there, who's called himself Dreamy Bull. Got some good kills with his Julii army, so well done to him. Brotherhood member Mars. Well done to Royer. Got some great kills there with his Scipii army. Well done to him. Well done to Tabor. Got some good kills as well. Really well played, guys. GoTW Romex might be a bit disappointed with his kills, but I thought he used his army quite well, especially his chariots. So well done, guys. Well done to Fesen. Got some great kills there. Held the line for a long time with his Carthage troops. Well done to Arminius. He might be a bit disappointed he got less than 1,000 kills, but he played really well, especially with his cavalry. And well done to Sultan. Now, he lost all his infantry in the first couple of minutes of the battle, but look at the kills that he got. Second highest kills in the battle. That was how well he was using his cavalry around the battlefield there. So really well done to Sultan there. Second highest kills in the game, and he lost all his infantry at the beginning of the battle. Right, faction advantage. The enemy have Rome, and Pontus. Quite a strong combination. And we had Greek cities, Carthage, Parthia and Rome. Quite strong as well there. I don't know if any of you think there's a faction advantage there. Just to remind everybody that we play every Friday, Saturday and Sunday night. That's the most popular nights, but there are people playing RTW during the week as well. If you'd like to come on to RTW and join us, that would be great. And of course, if you get into a really good battle, you may well see yourself on this YouTube channel. Okay, this is Spartan Commander saying bye for now and see you soon.